that first down yardage again through a huge hole in the left side before he's tripped up by Healy, and that could have been a saving tackle as Koenig is off to a fast start.
Well, a little misdirection look that time for Baldwinsville. Looked like they were going to run to the right, but they came back to the left, and Koenig had all kinds of room on the left side of the line of scrimmage. A good surge by the offensive front. Randy also in the stop for Rome Free Academy.
First possession for Baldwinsville has been effective, though, thus far, down to the 30-yard line. It's Earl this time off the right side, and he'll surge ahead for about 3. Once again, Walter Hunt trying to clog things up. He's backed up by the linebacker for RFA, John Thomas, and it'll be a 2nd down and 6 yards to go.
Just power football here for the Bees. 2 tight ends, keeping the ball in tight for the most part. A longer 2nd down situation. We may see something to the outside, but they've had some success just going right straight ahead.
Actually, it's 2nd down and 7. They send a man in motion, 1 back remaining. Quarterback sneak up the middle, trying to confuse the RFA defense, and it works for a couple. Actually does what it was intended to. It was a bit of a surprise with only 1 man back in a passing formation. It'll set up a 3rd and short, and we're in 4-down territory. I would say with 3rd and 3, Doug, I wouldn't expect to see the ball in the air right there.
No, that's for sure. They're going to go, I'm sure, right straight back up in the middle.
Earl and Koenig in the backfield. Power I, offset left. The pitch out comes to Koenig. Koenig tripped up in the backfield. Fine one-on-one play by Healy, and it'll set up a 4th down and long.
Mike Healy, the defensive end in the near side of the football field, made the tackle, but also there was a good surge by the whole defensive front that time, and that really set the play up. It didn't let the blocking get out in front. It forced everything a little bit back, so the backs couldn't even get up into the hole to make that lead block.
5:16 and counting. This promises to be a fast-moving football game the way that Baldwinsville likes to play. But it's not going to be that fast-moving because they're calling a timeout right here. 5:09 to go here in the opening period as Baldwinsville has a key 4th down situation upcoming. 4th down and 4 yards to go, and that obviously can create a different kind of call. RFA nothing and Baldwinsville nothing. We'll be right back.
Shusk.
Koenig and Earl will be in the backfield. Everybody else in tight. Darren Sweeney will be offset to the right. Double tight end setup. They often run it. They send the plays in with the tight ends Quackenbush and Peterson. Mashasik, the quarterback, looks over a 7-man front. And the give and the stop. Big play on the defensive side as Bob Griffin gets the big hit, and RFA will take over on downs.
Griffin and Thomas, both players combining for RFA, actually penetrated, got into the backfield. You have to wonder about that timeout. You know, it gave RFA a little chance to regroup. Baldwinsville was moving the ball. It got to a 4th down play. They elected to call timeout and set their play up. And I think it gave RFA a little more time to rest and get fired up and make that big surge.
There you see the RFA bench as RFA offense, not effective in the first go-round, will take over. Thomas, the quarterback. And the give straight up the middle to Billy Mays, and he's not going very far.
It's the fullback dive play. Mays finding no room at all. Well, he actually, a little second effort, picked up a couple yards, but hit right at the line of scrimmage, and it was all Mays.
Submarining the play that time was Randy Earl. Thomas, Mays, and Nelson in the backfield. Straight T formation this time. Wide to the right, Diudo. The pitch goes to Nelson. Nelson trying to sweep the right side. He'll get a couple. Tripped up on the play by number 20, Tom Dinapoli. There's Nelson, who couldn't quite go last week. The injured ankle just wouldn't respond, but he appears to be pretty fresh, and he practiced most of the week. So another 3rd down situation. 5 very ineffective plays thus far on offense for RFA. Slot left formation. Thomas back to throw. Thomas has time, gunning deep down the left sideline, and it is incomplete. Overthrown as he tried to get it to Jason Tremlett over on the left sideline, but the coverage was pretty good anyway.
Tremlett, I think, gave up a little bit on the football as Thomas threw a real tight spiral, laid it right out there, and I don't think Tremlett really thought he had a chance for the football. Ball thrown to the outside of the receiver.
So it'll be punting time, and Grandy will come in. He did a pretty good job of punting the football last week against CNS. It's a low snap. Of course, there was... Oh, he caught the ball with his knee down, I believe, and there's a big break for Baldwinsville, and Baldwinsville will get the football at the 15-yard line.
Something that was a problem last week was that long snap from center to punter. This one coming in low. Randy had to go down and field the ball on his knee, and of course in high school football, you are down just like you are in college ball. Once your knee touches, the play is over.
Big break for Baldwinsville. His knee touched the right knee, indicated by the referee, as last week 2 bad snaps, one that almost led to the game-winning field goal. You have to kick a football to get a field goal. And Baldwinsville will be setting up right away to go first down and 10 from inside the 15-yard line. As you're watching RFA Football on WTUV Sports, RFA bench trying to root on their defense, which gave up some yardage and then came through last week. The pitch out is fumbled, and falling back on it is Koenig as they tried a bit of a gadget play, as fancy as they get. And it'll be a big loss, a big first down play for the RFA defense.
The play is designed, if Koenig catches the ball, to get outside and get one-on-one with a defensive man. But the pitch mishandled. Football laid loose, and Koenig wisely just jumped on the football.
There you see last year, RFA winning during the regular season, but losing in the postseason. Second down and 17. Back to throw is Mashasik, being chased out of the pocket. He'll pull it down and run and only pick up a couple as he's knocked out of bounds. Chasing him down was Ripley.
Ripley, the defensive back, coming up to make the tackle. Hendenberg also there for Rome.
Henderberg played very well in relief last week. Made a couple of big plays. Ripley is that was Henderberg, not Ripley. Ripley is the second leading tackler on the club with 16 behind John Ciotti. So that'll make it third down and 13 yards to go. The Baldwinsville kicker was perfect on 4 extra point tries. John Huntley last week. The possibility of a field goal does exist. Back to throw, Mashasky down the middle. It's tipped and incomplete.
Again, Don Hendenberg coming across to tip that football. RFA in a zone, trying to get the ball through the left tight end.
So it'll be fourth down and 12. No indication of any personnel changes. Now let's wait and see. A couple of players come in, but I don't see the kicker. As coming into the lineup, Dana McDonald and Mike Peters. They may go with more wide receivers here, I believe. Remember, we'll be announcing the Revere Award $100 scholarship winner as the player of the game, sponsored by Revere Copper Products. That'll come late in the fourth quarter. Mashasky now, back to throw. He dumps out a screen pass. It's complete to McDonald. McDonald cuts it back. McDonald inside the 5-yard line, and he fumbles the football, I believe. And RFA has it, although he was short of the first down anyway, so the ball would have turned over on downs, but the defense comes up big in a clutch situation.
Dave Caldwell making the hit. The football jumped out of the ball carrier's hands, laid loose on the ground, and RFA picks it up. But the Baldwins will set that play up well. They brought in the extra wide receiver. You thought for sure they were going to throw the ball downfield. A little screen play, and the play was open.
But this all does put the RFA offense deep in the hole as Thomas works from the shadow of his own goalpost to Nelson. Nelson, good yardage, just tripped up as he was about to burst into the secondary. He'll pick up a good chunk of yardage on first down, about 6. It'll be second down and 4, and just about broke that one.
Marvin Nelson running out of the tailback spot, the second back in that I formation coming straight ahead, just reading the block of the fullback, and he can break that any way he wants when he gets to the line of scrimmage. Saw him get tripped up right at the line of scrimmage, but you look at the down mark and he still picks up 5 yards.
Everybody in tight except for Tremlett. Diuto is in the slot left out of the I formation. Nelson, good hole off the right side. He's out close to a first down.
Good block there by Billy Mays, the fullback coming over on the defensive end to kick him to the outside.
And it is good for a first down and a very important one.
First down, RFA.
I think my car was running down. It'll be first down as RFA gets their first down of the ball game, and an important one to get them out of serious trouble. They're still deep in their own territory at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. Thomas looks over a 5-man front. The give goes to Nelson, and he's not going too far up the middle as he is stuffed by Jason McCard.
McCard, the left linebacker, coming up 6'2", 210 pounds, and good solid hit that time.
Marvin Nelson, the senior, 5'8" and 150, the scat back type. Anybody who wears a single number, they're usually not too big. I think I'd probably wear one of those. That's the end of the first quarter, a fast-moving one as neither team able to score. Baldwinsville had the ball in RFA's end of the field for most of the first quarter, but came up empty as the RFA defense stiffened. So the teams will change ends, and at the end of one period of play, it's RFA nothing and Baldwinsville nothing. We'll be right back on WTUV Sports. Side, one good drive. They went down to inside the 30-yard line, then turned the ball over on downs, and then a big turnover on the punt play where the knee was down, but the RFA defense stiffened. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Thomas back to throw, rolling to his right, looking downfield, he fires, and it is, let's see if it's complete to Tremlett. He was in bounds, complete across the way. Actually, it was Craig Roberti on the play, the tight end, as he gathers it in, his 3rd catch of the year, and good for a first down out near midfield.
Thomas on the rollout to his right. Threw that ball right in the line. Something that I think the RFA coaching staff looked at was the defensive back situation of the Baldwinsville Bees. They felt that they could throw the ball, and Thomas, a very good passer.
He looked good on that one as he had plenty of time rolling out. From the 43-yard line, Nelson goes in motion. Big hole up the middle for Mays. Mays rumbles into Baldwinsville territory inside the 50-yard line, close to a first down.
Phil Jocko there on the stop for Baldwinsville, but Mays, the fullback, just a straight fullback dive. Power football there. High stepping it was Billy Mays.
Offensive line doing a good job just off the right side. Thomas and Greco, that was where the hole was. 2nd down and about 3. Nelson shakes one tackle in the backfield, but he only gets back to the line of scrimmage. Chris Wiener in on the play. Wiener, a 243-pounder and a returning first-team defensive all-star for Baldwinsville. 3rd down situation upcoming now, and you would anticipate if they don't pick up, it's an incomplete pass, they would punt the ball away. Maybe if they ran the ball close to the first down, they might go on 4th down. Obviously, they'd like to get it here. Out of split backs this time. Thomas has time. He guns it down the right side. It's caught. Complete and out of bounds. At about the 34-yard line is Jason Tremlett. And Thomas looking good firing the football.
RFA putting 2 receivers in the same zone that time. Tremlett, the man near the sideline. And that pass had some zip to it as Thomas stepped up in the pocket. The right-handed passer delivered the strike. And we now have an official's timeout as we have an injured player on the far sideline over near the Rome Free Academy bench, and it's a Baldwinsville player who is down.
So RFA on the move here in period number 2, the early moments, as you look at the crowd here at RFA Stadium, and it's a good one. Pretty good contingent here from Baldwinsville as well, as we're almost full up here for the opener, the home opener for the RFA Black Knights, one of 4 home games they'll play here this year. There's a player just over on the sidelines, and that's stopping the action here with 10:20 to go. As we mentioned, the opening games of this season, both of these teams played in the Carrier Dome. Baldwinsville played the last game and lost it, and of course RFA played the middle game and lost it. RFA Football returns with the score RFA nothing, Baldwinsville nothing.
Will be at Baldwinsville.
Back here at RFA, the injured player who we could not identify across the way. Well, here he comes. It's Dinapoli, the safety, and he looks to be all right as he's walking off under his own power. RFA set up with a 1st down and 10 inside the 40-yard line, about the 37, as the Baldwinsville Rooters are It's not that cold. Those girls are pretty heavily clad there. It's a beautiful night for football. It was windy earlier, but that has died down. Thomas on first down. Nelson, good hole. He breaks it to the outside. Thomas inside the 20, inside the 10. He cuts back. Touchdown! Marvin Nelson with a 37-yard touchdown and 5 or 6 great moves as he goes all the way to give RFA a 6-0 lead.
Play all started back at the line of scrimmage with a fake to the first man going to the left side, and Nelson carried the ball to the right side. Looked like he was going to be trapped in the backfield, but once he got to the outside and to that sideline, he just turned it into a great, outstanding run by Marvin Nelson.
Capping a 95-yard drive, and here's the kick. The extra point is up. And Bennett drills it right through the middle, and RFA leads it by a score of 7-0. RFA, the 95-yard touchdown drive, capped off by the 37-yard touchdown by Marvin Nelson, and they're up 7-0, and we'll be right back. Back here at RFA Stadium, you see the man who tacked on the extra point, Dwayne Bennett, and he'll be doing the kicking off to Baldwinsville after the touchdown that has RFA in the early lead, and a good change of momentum there as Baldwinsville controlled the first period of play, had the ball down deep. RFA had to start out at the 5-yard line, and they turned it right around with the 95-yard drive.
Well, a good drive put together, a good mix of running and passing, and you have to really think that the passing plays for RFA perhaps set that run up. And Nelson, a great effort as he got to the outside. I think the Baldwinsville players thought he was just going to give up and run out of bounds, but he took it right into the end zone.
Line drive kick is handled by Koenig. Koenig out the 30, picking his way out close to the 35-yard line before he's knocked down by Sean Salsi.
Number 13, Rob Amadon. Along with number 89.
There's Koenig, who has been the key running back thus far. Sean Salz on the play. First down and 10 from the 34-yard line for Baldwinsville. First drive was effective. Second one stalled when they had outstanding field position. The quarterback is the junior, Mishasik. He'll go with the quarterback sneak. He saw an opening, but a heads-up play by Ciotti to jump and grab him around the ankles, and he keeps that gain to about 3 yards.
It's the second time we've seen Mishasik, the quarterback, just take the snap and try to go straight ahead. Whether or not they think they can handle Hunt, the middle guard for RFA, or what the quarterback really sees. I think what he sees is the linebackers split out, trying to go head up over the backs in the backfield when they go to a split. So he's just looking for that 3 or 4 yards on first down.
I think he's reading that play. I think that's his option there. Out of the I formation, give goes to Dana McDonald. McDonald picks up a couple as a helmet comes flying out. Hope there's no head in it. There is not. James
Banbury putting his helmet back on down there on the football field, and you don't see that very often these days with the double chin straps the players wear now.
So a 3rd down and 5, and really this is what RFA wants to do. Keep Baldwinsville in situations where they have to at least think about throwing the football or doing something different than just grinding the ball straight ahead. 8:41 to go, second period. RFA up 7-0. Ball at the 46. Give off the left side to Sweeney. He's belted in the backfield.
Ciotti there first for RFA. John Ciotti leads the team with 18 tackles coming into tonight's game, and he got into the backfield and put a good hit on the ball carrier, and it's going to be a punting situation now for Baldwinsville.
So Baldwinsville will have to get rid of the football as Huntley will kick it away. 6'3", 182-pound sophomore who does all the kicking for the Bees. Imler is the man in the middle in the triple backs. Good time and a bad kick. Low line drive. Imler takes it at the 30. He'll try to break it outside. He'll shake off one tackle, but then is slammed down by the second man through as big number 84 for the Baldwinsville Bees. Tom McAuliffe puts the stop on him, and better field position than RFA saw last time, but not outstanding at the 31-yard line. Remember the Revere Award. We'll be announcing it, and it is a heck of a responsibility. $100 scholarship. Don Dayuto won it last week, the player of the game, brought to you by Revere Copper Products. First down play. And the give goes to Diudo, a shaky handoff, but he picks his way for a couple.
It's a wing-back trap play. RFA bringing the wing-back down in towards the line of scrimmage. The quarterback, Thomas, with the inside handoff.
Chris Weiner was the man who did most of the damage defensively as he tripped up Diudo. That play almost turned into a fumble. But it results in a second down and 8.
Across the way, head coach Tom Hoke signaling the plays into his quarterback.
RFA, in unusual fashion, they have their bench away from most of their home fans. The give goes straight up the middle to Billy Mays, and he picks his way for a couple as all around his ankles is Randy Earl, the nose guard. So RFA will face a passing situation, and they have handled those very well thus far with 2 big completions for Thomas already. His respective receivers, Tremlett to the right, Diudo in the flanker spot to the left. Back to throws Thomas. He's got time again, guns it down the middle. It's picked off, intercepted by Grobsmith. Grobsmith still picking his way inside RFA territory, and he's down inside the 40-yard line as the 6'1 senior, Eric Grobsmith, steps in front of Roberti, and a big turnover for the Bees.
Great pass defense that time by the Bees. Grobsmith, a big player, was able to step in front, showing good agility as he stepped in front, read the quarterback all the way, read the football coming in. Thomas obviously throwing into some heavy coverage, and a turnover for RFA. And Baldwinsville, great field position here.
That's the first turnover, with RFA leading 7-0. Actually, a big play was the knee down. That wasn't a turnover as Koenig is slammed down on first down. Once again, an outstanding defensive play by Griffin, who is coming up big early in this football game.
Griffith with the classic tackle, the head across in front of the ball carrier. You can hear the shoulder pads pop up here, wrap the arms around him, and drag him down to the ground.
Danny Klinkscale here, along with Doug Meese from RFA Stadium. 5:50 and counting to go here as the Bees work from the 40-yard line, facing a 7-0 deficit. They work a slot right formation. McDonald and Peterson, the wide receivers. Pop pass over the middle. It's complete for a first down as Quackenbush is on the reception. He's dumped by Emler, but not before he picks up the first down.
Good job of ball handling by the quarterback as he fakes into the fullback and just turns and hits the tight end just a couple steps off the line of scrimmage. RFA not able to react quick enough and get up and deflect that football.
It'll be interesting to see if Mashasik has much of an arm. He kind of babied that one to his tight end, but it was effective. Good for a first down as the ball is almost to the 26-yard line. First down give, burrowing straight up the middle for good yardage is the fullback Randy Earl. 76 yards and a touchdown for Earl last week against USA, and that's the kind of first down yardage RFA doesn't want to give up. 6 yards, it'll be second down and 4.
You can really see that big offensive front for Baldwinsville come up the ball that time and push all the black jerseys back off the line of scrimmage.
RFA is giving up pounds at virtually every position, although Bambury and Ciotti can measure up size-wise, but really no one else in the defense. Second down, 4. Here's the give to Koenig outside. Big yardage, first down. Nice solo tackle made to save further problems out there.
RFA's defense that time getting caught a little bit, choosing their lanes rather than covering their lanes. RFA gambling, trying to shoot some gaps. And if the ball carrier can read those types of plays, you're going to be in trouble.
So we'll be set for a first down and 10. They'll be setting up just inside the 15-yard line. Quarterback Mashasik on the give to Koenig, left side, and not much.
Donald Hendenberg there on the stop for RFA.
And Randy on the stop.
Koenig taking the handoff and trying to get around the left side. Healy, the defensive end, also there for Rome.
Pickup of just a yard as we're inside the 4-minute mark. RFA with the 95-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a beautiful run by Nelson, and they lead at 7-0. That lead in jeopardy at the moment. RFA bench encouraging the defense on a 2nd down and 9. A little movement in the defensive line. No flags. Breaking a tackle and surging into the end zone is Randy Earl. And Baldwinsville has pulled within a point.
Good job by the fullback that time. Breaking that tackle, he was into the secondary, untouched. Good surge by the offensive front for Baldwinsville. And Earl, making no mistake, both hands around the football, plunges into the end zone.
So the turnover proves to be a problem as a 40-yard drive is capped by Earl's 13-yard run, his 2nd touchdown of the year. And Huntley will try to tack on the extra point and tie the ball game. And we may have too much time as a flag flies. The kick was good, but the whistles blew before the snap came. Let's see what we've got here. No, offside on RFA.
It's a dead ball foul, so the kick will be no good. They'll have to try again.
Of course, it does give them the thought maybe of they are now at the 1.5-yard line rather than the 3, and they could run it, but they kicked after each touchdown last week, and you would assume that with a good kicker, they're just going to go for the automatic here and tie it up as we're close to halftime. That would be kind of a downer for Baldwinsville to not get the points, but
Timeout called by Baldwinsville.
They may be thinking about it,
They may be talking it over here.
as they take the timeout.
The kicker is still out there on the football field. And now the head coach for Baldwinsville coming out to talk to his offensive group. Defensive coordinator Don Bruce joins the huddle for the Black Knights.
Carl Sanfilippo is the head coach of Baldwinsville. Of course, Bruce part of an outstanding coaching staff for RFA, a team that has a storied football history. I'm sure everybody watching knows that, but really you look at the figures, they're rather incredible over the tenure of Tom Hoke and the whole 90-plus years of RFA football, better than a 2-1 winning margin, both in wins and in points scored in the almost 100 years of RFA football. As you get a good look on the sideline of Charlie Baird, the junior defensive end. He looks like he's been in the battle.
Well, the kicker's still out there now for Baldwinsville as we go back to action here. Timeout is over.
Huntley will attempt the extra point on the hold. Will be backup quarterback Hanatko. The snap is sort of a knuckleball, and the kick is up, and it's just inside the left upright, and that'll tie it up. So, 40-yard drive capped off by Earl's 13-yard touchdown run and the extra point nailed by Huntley. And with 3:31 to go here to halftime, it's RFA 7 and Baldwinsville 7. Teams just about trading touchdowns. RFA got their hands on the football one time after they scored. Nelson dots the I in the I formation, straight up the middle. Marvin fighting hard, but it'll only net him a couple of yards as Phil Jocko, one of the defensive standouts. And when you carry around that last name, you either be a good athlete or a clown, I guess.
It's kind of a tough time of the football game for the offense here for Rome Free Academy with 2 minutes 49 seconds and counting. You don't want to air the football out and turn it over and give Baldwinsville another shot, but then again you want to try to get some points on the board.
Here's Nelson. Nelson will try to take it outside. Can he turn the corner? Yes, he can. Nelson to midfield. Nelson has a chance to go, but he just slips out of bounds. An outstanding run by Nelson, and really, as you were talking about, just what the doctor ordered. It gives them the option now. They're not in dangerous situation, and the offensive options are numerous now.
Nelson electing not to follow his blocking. He wants to get to the outside every time he touches the football. The two blockers went straight up the football field, tried to pick somebody off, and he said he was going to the outside. You can see why with that foot speed. There's not going to be many people that are going to beat him once they get in the open field.
So he gets good yardage, and now big opening for Billy Mays, rumbling deep into Baldwinsville territory to the 35-yard line, where it'll be another RFA first down.
Billy Mays going helmet to helmet that time at the end of that play, and he just lowered the boom on the defensive back. There's nothing worse for a safety than seeing the fullback coming through untouched, and you have to take him on shoulder pad to shoulder pad.
So 2:22 to go, still plenty of time here, especially after those two big plays from the 35. Nelson cuts it back. It's good defensive play made, however, by four-year starter Dana McDonald, or three-year starter, rather. He started as a freshman. He's only a junior now, team leader in interceptions, and a good play there as he forced Nelson inside and then made the hit.
Under 2 minutes now in the first half.
RFA may have to start throwing the football as we see Coach Tom Hoke.
Right next to Tom Hoke is Tom Myslinski, the line coach.
Second down, 8. Thomas rolls right, looking to throw, looking downfield. He'll pull it down now and take it upfield for about 5 or 6, close to a first down.
The big thing there is that he also stepped out of bounds and stopped the clock. Looked like he was trying to get the ball upfield to the tight end, Craig Roberti.
The clock is stopped with 1:38 to go here. Well, the whistle blew. Well, he made the signal as if to start the clock, and it does not start, and it's not supposed to. Third down and 3. Nelson, boom! He is racked behind the line of scrimmage.
Nelson hit by number 68, Jason
Big hit by Jason McCard, who has been a first-half standout on defense, and RFA will have to convert on fourth down.
Fourth down and 1:22 to go. RFA is going to let the clock run here and go for it on fourth down.
Not call the timeout unless they make the first down, and a good idea there. Slot left formation. Thomas back to throw. Thomas looking, plenty of time. Fires, and it's picked off. Intercepted by DiNapoli, and a nice tackle made by Diudo to keep him from going further as DiNapoli
just playing that free safety like a center fielder out there. I'm sure Thomas never saw him. Thomas following his intended receiver all the way, and DiNapoli just played it calm and cool, read the football, stepped in front, picked the ball off, and another turnover here. Second interception of the game for Baldwinsville.
So first down and 10 from the 22. That was a big play by Diudo. DiNapoli had a lot of running room, and now it'll be sort of a Hail Mary type of situation for Baldwinsville with just 40 seconds and counting in the first half. And he's going to drop down on the football as they'll play it very conservatively. Mishasik, and he almost goofed up the fall down play.
Well, Mishasik just going to go ahead and run the clock out here. Baldwinsville seems to be very happy with a 7-7 time, and rightly so. The ball is at the 20-yard line, not really the spot in the football field for a high school game that you're going to air the ball out. I don't believe they have to snap this football.
I don't think so either, but they may. Let's wait and see. Under 10 seconds now. Oh, he's going to throw the football down the right sideline, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Huntley, and we got a flag, I do believe, and of course a defensive penalty cannot end the first half, although time didn't run out anyway. There's 1 second left. So they were trying for the home run ball there, and it has paid off in at least one more opportunity from just outside RFA territory as Huntley got his hands on the ball, but the defensive back got his hands on Huntley.
Contact made just before the catch that time, and referee Len Mania signaling the defensive pass interference, an automatic first down.
Of course, it's no longer where the infraction takes place. It is just a penalty now and an automatic first down. 36-yard line. Let's see what they do. They aired it out last time. You'd assume they'd do it again. Mishasik will go back to throw. He'll take his time. He'll be under the gun. He'll fire it down the middle. Intercepted. Intercepted by Rosado, and Rosado makes a couple of nice plays near the end of the half, including ending the half on an interception as he returns it just inside Baldwinsville territory. That'll bring us to halftime with the score, the RFA Black Knights 7 and Baldwinsville 7. This is high school football, RFA style on WTUV Sports. At RFA Stadium, as you see the Black Knight marching band out there, the score RFA 7 and Baldwinsville 7 in a good, fast-moving first half of football. Danny Klinkscale here along with Doug Meese, and teams exchanged touchdowns in the first half. RFA scoring in the early moments of the second period on a 95-yard touchdown drive, capped by a scintillating 37-yard touchdown run by Marvin Nelson. And then late in the half, after an interception by the Baldwinsville Bees, Eric Grobsmith. He returned it down to the 40-yard line, and from there it was a 40-yard touchdown drive with the halfback Earl going over from 13 yards out. The extra point was good, and the game was tied at 7 apiece. And I'd say a pretty even first half. Baldwinsville early on being able to take control, but it appears that RFA has a more diversified attack. Baldwinsville will just like to grind it out.
Well, Baldwinsville with their two tight ends, power football. RFA been able to mix the run and the pass up, and perhaps keeping the Baldwinsville defense off stride a little bit. I think RFA knows what they have to do defensively. They got to stop the running game.
And one thing that RFA has to look to, and of course the end of the half was a bit of a desperation time, but it looks like throwing the ball deep against this defensive backfield with some very good defensive backs across the back for Baldwinsville is going to be tough. They may have to run more intermediate routes.
Well, those are the plays that have been open, those short passes, and we've seen RFA use the short pass along with the run, and I think it's a big help for Rome Free Academy Black Knights to have Nelson back in that lineup from that tailback spot. He seems to be able to get to the outside with his quickness, and he's a tough guy to bring down in the open field.
What it does is give RFA a lot of options. Diudo ran very well last week, and his role as tailback, of course, playing the wide receiver spot. Now Nelson, and if Nelson goes down or gets a little tired, they can put him in there. They seem to be a little different types of runners. Nelson likes to just go to the outside, and Diudo will run where the blocks are. Next Saturday here on WTUV Sports, you'll see RFA Black Knight football once again as RFA travels to West Genesee to take on that ball club, and we'll have it for you at 2 o'clock. So at halftime, the score, the RFA Black Knights 7 and Baldwinsville 7. And this is high school football right here on WTUV Sports. One touchdown for each club, obviously. Not any other combination that could work to 7-7. The 37-yard run by Marvin Nelson for a touchdown, capping a 95-yard drive. The Bennett kick, it was 7-0 late in the first half. Baldwinsville on Randy Earl's 13-yard touchdown run. A 40-yard drive after the Grobsmith interception and return. The kick was good, 7-7. RFA football here on WTUV is brought to you by Trila's Insurance Center. Personalized and experienced service, 113 West Dominic Street in Rome. By Sid Stockholm Ford. High quality and satisfaction service, Upper Black River Boulevard in Rome. Kosher Brothers Oil Company, your full service station, auto parts store, and oil deliveries. Also Upper Black River Boulevard at Rich Mills. Jack's Cleaners, 30 years of experience in dry cleaning. 2 locations, Black River Boulevard next to McDonald's, and West Dominic Street, the Rome Country Club. Complete Nautilus facilities, 18-hole golf, racquetball, Route 69 West in Rome. And Video Works. Ask for crazy video and the best deal on video rentals, 309 North James Street in Rome. And Doug Meese getting set for the second half. And what kind of second half do you think we'll look for? I think we probably will see about the same that we saw in the first half of play.
Well, I don't think either team will change their game plan too awful much. As far as what adjustments can be made, maybe some blocking assignments, but as far as a major change in the game plan, I don't see either team making too many.
Baldwinsville likes to grind it out, although they did throw the ball a couple of times effectively. RFA did try to mix it up a little bit more with 6 passing attempts, but generally a defensive-minded first half, a fast-moving one. Both teams looking to get on the ground, and RFA perhaps with a slight territorial edge. We're just about set for second half action, and we'll be back for more RFA football the second half. With the score at halftime, RFA 7 and the Baldwinsville Bees 7. RFA football here on WTUV 33 is brought to you by Schuss Ski Shop, owned by experienced skiers. Ask about cross-country and downhill ski packages, 8388 Elmer Hill Road in Rome. Knutson's Auto and John Deere dealership, your Detroit connection, buy for less on Erie Boulevard West. By Engelbert's Jewelers, downtown Rome, and the New Hartford Shopping Center. Also by Williams & Graves, insurance needs for over 50 years at 301 North Washington Street in Rome. RFA football brought to you by Quality Inn as well, with live entertainment in the Gazebo Lounge. And brought to you by Small World Boutique, ladies' clothes, sizes 3 to 11, 208 North Madison Street in Rome. And the second half kickoff just about to be made, as Bennett will kick off to Baldwinsville. Koenig and McDonald will be back deep
Number 10,
as Tom Hoke slaps on the headphones and gets ready to communicate with his coaching staff up in the booth with us here. And Bennett is set to kick. A line drive kick drilled and grabbed by Koenig, and kind of a silly play as he could have easily let that one bound into the end zone. Is back down at about the 10-yard line, but down on his knees. That's dead, and bad field position for Baldwinsville to start out.
Koenig electing to play that ball almost like a shortstop. Ward getting down and getting his body in front of the football. Unfortunately, in high school football, as soon as your knee touches the ground, when you have the football, you are down, the play is over. So tough field position to start now for Baldwinsville.
And that ball had a lot of mustard on it. Would have easily gone into the end zone, but he played it safe. Shasik hands off the middle to Koenig straight up the middle, and Koenig will only pick up a yard or two. Getting off the bottom of the pile is leading tackler John Ciotti for RFA. As you see Mike Thomas warming up, he had some interception problems in the first half as RFA tried to air it out deep a couple of times.
Also practicing that all-important center snap, as we saw some problems early in the game. Nothing through the second quarter between the center and quarterback on the snaps.
I think we're going to see delay a game here as we get a timeout for Baldwinsville. They're going to be in trouble. Baldwinsville changing personnel. Finally, they get who they want out in the field. They've got to be coming close to a 30-second violation as Shasik brings them up to the line of scrimmage. They do get the play off. Koenig breaks it outside, and he crashes for good yardage out near the 20-yard line, near a first down. It'll be just short. Koenig in the first half, 9 carries for 16 yards. He had a couple of good carries, but also some losses that cut into that total. The leading carrier for Baldwinsville was the fullback Earl, 5 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown. Third down, about a yard to go. Early moments of the third quarter here from a pretty well-packed RFA Stadium. Here's the give to Koenig off the right side. He surges ahead. He may have that first down, although he doesn't get much.
The linebackers for Rome coming up very tight to the line of scrimmage, jumping right in the gaps as the ball was snapped.
Rafferty
there on the stop.
This one is close, but apparently they don't have it as the officials are not going to measure. I thought he'd get a little bit more than that, but apparently not. It'll be fourth down, and Baldwinsville will be forced to punt, although now they are requesting, I believe, a measurement.
They are bringing the chains out from the far side of the field. Looking at the RFA student body section, the cheerleaders for Rome Free Academy. Behind the Rome Free Academy team bench.
It is well short of a first down, and Baldwinsville will have to kick it away, and RFA should end up with some good field position here. We'll see who does the punting duties. We'll have to make a quick correction of something we said in the first half. The one person we picked out on the sideline has a different number on. That was Neil Skidmore. I'm sure all his friends and family knew it. Number 79. He's wearing 79 rather than 86 because he moved into a tackle spot. Huntley will do the punting. High snap, but he gets it away. A low tumbling punt will hit, and they're going to let it roll. The RFA deep backs do, and it turns into an outstanding punt all the way back inside the 40-yard line. And the RFA Black Knights will have decent field possession at the 37. Score RFA 7, Baldwinsville 7. More high school football after this.
Schuss Ski Shop wants to put you on the leading edge of fashion with the latest in skiing apparel. Choose from Sun Ice, Spider, Obermeyer, Nefica, and more. Discounted Rossignol cross-country and downhill ski packages available too. Get an early start with free layaway till Christmas at your skiing headquarters. Schuss Ski Shop, 8388 Elmer Hill Road, Rome, 337-4320. Schuss Ski Shop.
Set for the first down play for RFA with the score tied as Thomas gives off the right side and crashing ahead for a couple 3 yards. Billy Mays across the 40-yard line.
Kevin Reese, the blocker there for Rome Free Academy, is Mays, the fullback. Slants off to his right.
Second down, 7 situation now. 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Tie football game at 7. Slot I formation as Thomas, 2 of 6 in the first half, will give off to Nelson. He's crunched on the right side. Big play by the right side of the defense, as leading the charge was Brian Corcoran.
Nelson not as comfortable, I don't think, running in between those tackles. He'd much rather be outside in that open field. Good job by the defensive front there. Baldwinsville coming up quickly, and really the offensive line for RFA unable to push the white jerseys back off the ball.
Slot I formation here as Thomas could look to throw on 3rd down and long. He's back to throw. He's got time. Guns it down the middle. Tremlett can't hold on. Good hit made by McDonald right at the point when Tremlett was grabbing the football, as Dana McDonald, the team leader with 3 interceptions, nails Tremlett, and it's incomplete, and RFA will be forced to punt, I do believe.
Grandy has checked into the lineup for Rome, the punter. Mark Grandy standing back just outside the 25.
Thomas now 2 out of 7 for 39 yards, 2 interceptions. Here's the kick by Grandy. He doesn't get much of it. It's falling short, but getting a good RFA bounce inside the 30-yard line and down to about the 28-yard line. So the teams exchange rather lackluster offensive performances to start off the second half, and with the score, RFA 7 and Baldwinsville 7. We'll be right back. In the middle of the line, Walter Hunt was there.
Caldwell also there for Rome. A little different look offensively that time for Baldwinsville as they came out with a lone setback and had a slot to the left. We've seen them run pretty much out of that power I, 2 tight ends. So perhaps trying to give RFA a little bit of a different look. Let's see what they run this time.
They'll run 1 back this time on 2nd down and a long 9. Mashasik on the pitch out, goes to McDonald. McDonald makes a few moves, but good swarming defense led by Mike Ripley and many others over on the right side, including Mike Healy, and that will only be good for a couple. It'll be 3rd and long.
Don Hendenberg also there for Rome. You're looking at head coach Tom Hope. RFA doing a good job stringing out the option play that time, not giving the tailback any room to operate.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Mashasik in deep trouble, and he is piled under. First impact there for RFA by Caldwell, and then a host of others came along.
Sack of quarterback Mashasik.
Caldwell able to be right in the quarterback's face as they turned around to throw. So the defense is playing, for both teams, playing tough here in the early part of the second half.
So Huntley will kick it away. Huntley punting today, but not kicking the extra point as he did last week. Another bloop snap, but they get it away. And once again, it's short of the deep back, Himmler, and he'll have to let it run. And once again, it's inside the 40, and RFA will start at virtually the identical spot that they started their first drive of the second half. RFA 7, Baldwinsville 7 as we roll along in the 3rd quarter. More RFA football after this timeout.
At Sid Stockholm
Going here as it's been a defensive-minded 3rd quarter, 5:40 to go. Here's the pitch to Nelson, trying wide, cutting it back, tripping over his own man, and he'll pick up a couple.
Marvin Nelson tripped up by Brian Corcoran.
Nelson not finding much room as Corcoran blowing through and actually taking the blocker with him, and Nelson now still down on the football field injured. Looks like perhaps a Charlie horse, perhaps up on the thigh area. We'll wait and see.
It looked like he got hit on the thigh as Nelson is down. Of course, the ankle was the problem for Nelson last week. He got up and popped right up and then just couldn't go. And he, I believe, is holding his left thigh. It could be a cramp as well. No, he says it's on the front of his leg. As you see Marvin there trying to work it out.
Kelly Mackley, the trainer, out for RFA. Very quickly to attend to the injured player.
Nelson trying to work it out as RFA will face a 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Both of these teams scored in the 2nd period, and that's why you see the score tied up at 7. RFA 7, Baldwinsville 7. We'll be back after this timeout.
Rome Country Club on Route 69 West in Rome has the best health club around. With complete Nautilus facilities and no racquetball court fees for members. To introduce you to Rome Country Club's excellent health club facilities, you can join for 1 month special at low $29.95. 6-month and yearly memberships are also available at the Rome Country Club on Route 69 West in Rome. Open every night till 9.
Set to go. Second down, make it 3rd down and 7 from the RFA 40-yard line. Here's the pitch to Bennett. Bennett rolling to his right. He's going to throw. He fires down the right sideline for Diuto. Knocked away at the last moment. Nice defensive play made by Eric Grobsmith, who already has an interception in the game, as pretty good toss by Bennett on the option pass, but RFA comes up empty.
Bennett taking off, going to his right. Looking like a sweep, but Diuto going straight up the football field. But again, the safety doing a good job for Baldwinsville. Defensive backs playing excellent for Baldwinsville here as RFA has put them to the test. They're staying at home and playing the man very well and reading the passer.
I thought that was second down before. The yard marker was wrong. Now it's 3rd down. Thomas back to throw, and he is going to be sacked. Thomas runs out of time quickly as number 42 for the Baldwinsville Bees. Randy Earl, the fullback and nose guard at times anyway, and he gets the sack, and the beat goes on here in the 3rd period with good defense.
This is where the kicking game really comes into play. It's a big part of high school football.
One thing that's got to come into play, these deep backs have got to get a little more aggressive, I would say, in fielding the balls. The short kicks are just falling and tumbling. It's going to happen again, although they couldn't have done much about that one. Inside the 30-yard line, and Baldwinsville will start out there as it's a punting duel here in the 3rd period with 4:23 to go. As Baldwinsville will get set to start up on offense. Neither team has done much of anything on offense here in the 3rd period as we move into the waning moments. You see the RFA bench there. Offense obviously trying to get a little fired up. But it's been the defenses controlling things here in the 3rd period of play. Out comes the B offense. No, not the second string offense, the Baldwinsville B offense. The give goes to Earl trying the right side. Nowhere.
Good job that time by the RFA defense. Hunt there for RFA and Thomas. Both players able to get their hands on the ball carrier. This game could really turn into a real physical type football game as both teams grinding some yardage out, wearing on one another. Perhaps the team that's in the best shape when the 4th quarter comes around could be the difference in the game.
Very cool night. Perfect night to play football. Fumble on the exchange, and back on it are the Bees.
Covered by Dana McDonald at the
Dana McDonald, number 10, a fine defensive performer who plays occasionally on offense, got on the football.
Both teams having players going on both sides of the line of scrimmage, offense and defense, and it's got to wear on you by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Although there aren't only about 5 players combined in both teams that start both ways, but as you see in McDonald, he plays a considerable amount of downs on offense. Mashasik back to throw. Lots of heat on him. He fumbles the football.
Great job by the defensive nose guard, Hunt, that
Wait
time.
and see who has it.
Blowing right through the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be Baldwinsville ball. It's going to be 4th down. As the quarterback started to crank the football up to throw it, Hunt knocked it out of his hands.
It's recovered by 42, Randy Earl.
They're saying Randy Earl recovered the loose ball.
So our 5th punt of the second half, as we note that the Revere Award, a $100 scholarship, will go to the player of the game. Brought to you by Revere Copper Products.
Let's see if the receivers for Rome have moved up far enough here. The punts have been short, bouncing in front of them.
It's a better snap this time. Big rush just away and perhaps partially blocked. Oh, it's tipped and down now as big number 55 for the Bees catches it. He's not listed on the roster.
Dave Wheeler made the catch in the air, the end over end punt. We'll wait and see. The flags are all flying.
By a Baldwinsville player at the 38
See if they're going to
line.
penalize.
There are flags on
They're
the play.
saying that they did not give the receiving team a chance to field the football.
Oh, that's a big break for RFA.
There was nobody within 20 yards of the ball.
I don't understand that call at all. I mean, you can catch the ball to down it. I mean, that's all he was basically doing, was downing the football.
I think what they're saying is they have to let the ball hit the ground before it can be down.
I guess that's what they're saying.
Right. Not that we agree with it, but that's what they're saying, right?
This could turn into a very big break for RFA. I think they're discussing this over again here as I think they're going to let the call stand as they continue to talk with the RFA special teams captain, in that instance, John Thomas.
I think what the discussion is about is perhaps where the penalty is going to be marked off. If it's back at the line of scrimmage or up here where the ball was down. Lenny Maney is telling us he gave the pass interference call, and they're marking off the penalty and saying first down for Rome Free Academy.
Well, this is way downfield. That would be a lengthy penalty. Looks like more than 15 yards, and RFA gets a huge break on a very unusual call, and they'll set up inside the 30-yard line at about the 24-yard line. So here's a big shot for RFA with 2:25 to go here in the third quarter. Thomas. Nelson tripped up in the backfield.
We see Nelson back in there after going off with just what appeared to be a leg cramp, but good defensive surge rising to the occasion. There's Weiner for Baldwinsville as he blows through and hits Nelson in the backfield. They mark the ball back at the original line of scrimmage.
Weiner, a junior, was a first-team All-Star selection as a sophomore. Good size at 6'1", 243 pounds. He got around the ankles of Nelson that time. Second down from the 24. Nelson. Big hole. Nelson down inside the 20 as the hole closed rather quickly, and it'll be a third down and about 5 yards to go.
Good job pursuing by the inside for the Baldwinsville defense. Billy Mays, the fullback for RFA, leading Nelson around the left side. Mays kicking out the defensive end to the outside. Marvin Nelson cutting the ball up, but just too much pursuit from the inside.
Thomas is 2 out of 7 in the football game and 2 interceptions. Throwing situation on 3rd and 6, but they'll run it. Off the right side, Nelson turning the corner. Nelson inside the 5-yard line. First down and goal, RFA.
Marvin Nelson using a good head and shoulders fake. He takes a quick pitch and looked like the play was designed to run up right off the off tackle. He faked to the inside and just broke it to the outside, and there was a foot race, and he got it down to the 6-yard line.
They'll mark it at the 6, first down and goal in the waning moments of the third quarter. What could be a very big touchdown for RFA. In a defensive-minded second half, RFA takes the big break on the punt and interference penalty. Thomas. Give off on the left side and surging down close to the goal line as Hinderberg in the goal line type situation is all the way down to the 1-yard line.
John Hinderberg, very aggressive runner, not afraid to mix it up in the middle of the line of scrimmage, both hands over the football. Great surge by the offensive front that time. The lineman for Rome Free Academy blowing the white jerseys back off the ball.
And what could be the final play of the third quarter, Thomas leads them out. The give goes to Hinderberg, left side, touchdown!
Donald Hinderberg, known more perhaps as the night back of the defensive unit, comes in on the goal line, and RFA goes to that full house backfield. Hinderberg following 2 blockers over the left side for the touchdown.
So a 15-yard drive, I believe it becomes, 24-yard drive. 24-yard drive after the punt play and the bizarre interference call that set them up there, and now Bennett will try to tack on the extra point. Ball is down, the kick is drilled right through. RFA gets a break, and they jump all over it as the 1-yard run by Hinderberg stakes them with 21 seconds left in the third quarter to a 14-7 lead, and we'll be right back.
Utica Rome.
There you see the score. 21 seconds to go, third quarter. RFA with a lead to protect as the man who's tacked on 2 extra points, Dwayne Bennett. 6', 155-pound junior getting set to kick off. 4 deep receivers this time. Pretty good kick on the line drive, handled by McDonald. McDonald out to the 30. McDonald across the 30 and out to the 35-yard line. A pretty good Beeville field position to start off as we tick down here in the third quarter. At the end of today's game, we'll be choosing, Doug Mace and myself, the Revere Award Scholarship winner, a $100 scholarship, sponsored by Revere Copper Products. Wide open right now.
Oh, yeah. A lot of game left to play.
That's right. There may not be any more plays called here in the third quarter, and they were not. There will not, rather. Or they were not. They were not going to snap it, apparently, is what I was thinking, and that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. Defense controlled everything in the quarter until the waning moments when RFA took advantage of a break, and at the end of 3 periods, they're leading it by a score of 14-7 over Baldwinsville.
Winning 50-50 is on the orange ticket.
A rather bemused water boy getting his moment in the sun here as we get set for fourth period action here at RFA as the tying touchdown, and Baldwinsville has done zip offensively in this second half. The junior quarterback Mashasik leads them out. I formation, slot right. For RFA football next Saturday. As you can see, they'll try a reverse pass. McDonald fires down the left side. It's complete. Complete inside the 35-yard line and down to the 32 as McDonald with a good shot over there.
Dave Quackenbush is the receiver. He's still down on the field. John Imler, the safety, able to get back across a little razzle-dazzle play to start the fourth quarter here. They run a little option reverse play. The quarterback coming down the line of scrimmage to his right, pitches the ball back to a man coming back in motion towards the line of scrimmage, and he throws the ball.
And Quackenbush is still down on the field across the way as he was the man who made the big play. Finally flexing his knees over there, a big hit, but a big gainer as well, as on first down, McDonald coming around and southpawing that effort down the field. As a less than pleased Tom Hoke looks on as the trick play is the only thing that has worked for Baldwinsville in this second half.
Once again,
Tom Hoke in his 15th year for the Black Knights.
0-7-3-2-6.
An outstanding record for Coach Hoke as first 12 teams won their league title. He's 112 and not getting up any too quickly.
You know, you look at the rest of the Rome coaching staff, Don Bruce and Tom Islinski. Obviously, in any other program, those two guys capable of taking the head coach job, and I think Rome is really lucky to have 3 people as qualified as those 3.
Really, 3 head coaches on one staff. In the early moments of the third quarter, it's RFA 14 and Baldwinsville 7, and we'll be right back. Well, we may not have any action for a while here as Quackenbush is still down over on the left side, as we have time to tell you that RFA football here on WTUV is brought to you by the Schuss Ski Shop, 8388 Elmer Hill Road in Rome. Also brought to you by Knutson's Auto Brokers, your Detroit connection. Buy for less on Erie Boulevard West. By Engelbert's Jewelers, downtown Rome and the New Hartford Shopping Center. Also by Williams & Graves Incorporated. Insurance needs for over 50 years, located at 301 North Washington Street in Rome. By the Quality Inn of Rome, with live entertainment in the Gazebo Lounge and the Shalimar Restaurant, located at Erie Boulevard and James. And Small World Boutique, with ladies' clothes, size 3 to 11, 208 North Madison Street in Rome. There you see the score as they continue to work to the man who pulled the big playoff. Part of it anyway. David Quackenbush, the 6-foot, 204-pound senior. Quackenbush really has been down for quite a while and looks to be more of a situation where he lost his wind, but apparently more serious than that, as he has been down for a good 3 or 4 minutes now over on the far sidelines. RFA took the lead in the late moments of the third quarter of this football game as they received the benefit of really a play that I really can't understand, as 24-yard drive was started after a punt by Baldwinsville. It was fielded by one of their zone players in the air, and they called interference, even though an RFA player was nowhere within 20 yards of catching it. That set up the touchdown and the run by Henderberg from 1 yard out, and the score you see, 14-7, and hopefully we'll have more football action when we return.
Come as you
now, 11:46 to go here in the third quarter. First down for the Bees. Give to Koenig off the right side, just a couple.
Ball carried by Koenig.
We'll see how that long rest comes into play here, as we had to wait for the injured player to be taken care of. Quackenbush going off on the stretcher. The Baldwinsville wide receiver, or tight end.
Very long delay, and right after a big play for Baldwinsville, so you would think that would be to the benefit of RFA after they had the wind taken out of their sails a little bit. Second down, 8 yards to go. Back to throw. Flag is down, and so is Mashasik.
Mashasik looking downfield, finding nobody open, tried to take off to the left. But Healy right there to make the tackle for Rome, and the preliminary signal is holding against Baldwinsville. We'll see if RFA chooses to back them up. I'm sure that they will here.
Big penalty there as holding, and it was right away, right at the snap. The RFA player had beaten his man cold, and obviously a little grabbing going on, and that changes the situation rather extensively. Second down and about 13 yards to go from the 44-yard line.
RFA checking in another defensive back here, taking the nose guard out of the game, going with just 2 down linemen.
Mashasik back to throw. He's pressured, flips it out. A screen pass, Koenig. Koenig straight ahead. He's belted down. Good defensive pursuit on a well set up screen pass as Koenig gets back to about the original line of scrimmage.
Good pursuit by the people for Rome Free Academy. As I said, they had the extra defensive back, and the RFA looking to perhaps give up a few yards, but not the big play. Sets up a 3rd down and 12, they call it, so RFA still with that extra defensive back in the game.
RFA has done a good job of pressuring the quarterback, as Mashasik has had someone in his face virtually every time he's tried to throw the football. Remember, Beeville just would rather run the ball on every down if they could, but difficult on 3rd and 12. Mashasik airs out, left corner, incomplete as the ball was a corner pattern, well overthrown to Huntley. It'll be 4th down.
Looked like that play really is just throw the ball up very, very high and let the receiver go up and fight for it. If it's picked off, it's just as good as a punt.
And to me, a good idea here by Beeville. They're at the 38-yard line, but they've got a 4th and 13, and as you see the player being loaded onto the ambulance, that's Quackenbush, as they were very careful with him, so you assume some kind of a back injury.
See if RFA comes after his punt again, and nobody back deep.
Huntley set to punt. The snaps have not been good ones. That's low again. RFA comes after the punter, but Huntley gets away his best punt of the day, and it takes a good RFA bounce into the end zone. Huntley picked that one time to hit the ball well. Any of his other punts would have pinned RFA deep, but they'll get it first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. 14-7, Rome Free Academy leads it, and we'll be right back. For RFA, Nelson. Not much.
Nelson trying to go straight ahead, veering a little bit to his left. No room at all there.
Tackled by Brian Corcoran.
Corcoran in the stop for Baldwinsville. I think this is a big possession here for Rome Free Academy. Ahead 14-7, 9 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the game. They can grind some time off that clock, wind some time off the clock, and grind some yardage out.
See part of the RFA defense taking a rest. The give goes to Mays. Mays, good yardage out near a first down, and couple 3 first downs here for RFA, and they are looking at a very good situation because there are 9 minutes left now on the clock, and they'll keep the clock rolling and force Baldwinsville with the 2 or 3 first downs here to think about throwing the football more, and they haven't had much success doing it.
Don Henderberg checking in for Rome. They'll go with 2 tight ends now. Billy Mays, a fullback, and very active here running the football.
3rd down and 2. The pitch to Nelson. Nelson, I believe, has the first down. It's very close, but I think he's across the marker, and they'll be moving the sticks. Let's wait, though.
Carried by Marvin Nelson to the 31-yard line.
It is good enough for a first down, as Nelson, who had 66 yards in the first half, has kept up the pace in half number 2. So a first down and 10 for the Black Knights just outside their 30-yard line. 8:35 and counting here in the final period. 3 men in the backfield. Give off the left side. Good for a couple.
Donald Henderberg, I believe, is the ball carrier.
Henderberg pulls himself off the bottom of the pile as
by Henderberg.
He was wearing big number 75, Chris Wiener. And 3 yards at a clip is something that RFA will take right now. Maybe a little bit more. 3 of those, and you got a first down. 2nd down and 7. You see right now Thomas taking his time and snapping the football as well. The pitch to Nelson. Nelson following Mays. He's tripped up. They'll fall forward for a couple.
Got a flag, perhaps a face mask call. As Nelson went down, looked like the hand of the Baldwinsville player was on the helmet or headgear. Oh, excuse me, it's holding. Perhaps Billy Mays, the lead blocker out there, getting his hands up on the block. So it's going to go against RFA, and these are the kind, obviously, very tough to take in this part of the football game. These are drive stoppers.
They certainly are, and it also makes RFA do what they don't want to do, is put the ball in the air with the possibility of stopping the clock on an incompletion, as RFA will face a 2nd down and 14 yards to go. 14-7. Black Knights in the lead on the strength of a late third quarter touchdown
2nd down
by Henderberg. So we'll see what Tom Hoke and his staff has up their sleeve on this long yardage situation. Nelson draw. Takes it outside. Pretty good yardage, but it'll still be a 3rd and long.
Little delay or draw play to the tailback. Thomas takes the snap. The quarterback goes back and shows pass. At the last second, just hands the ball off to the tailback, who is faked like he's going to block on the play and then tries to get to the outside after receiving the handoff from the quarterback.
3rd and 8 for Rome.
Oh, here's a big 3rd and 8 situation for RFA. Diuto is in the slot. Tremlett wide to the right. Back to throw. Thomas has time, still has time down the middle, in and out of the hands of Tremlett. I think the ball may have been deflected on the way, but still a catchable ball, and RFA will have to punt it away.
Tremlett taking the ball off his back shoulder pad. The ball had some zip on it. Thomas unloading with a good, hard, strong pass. Into some traffic, the defense was there, but still the ball got through to Tremlett. He just couldn't hang on to the football.
For the Beans, number 33.
There would have been enough yardage for the first down.
Number 10, Dana McDonald.
Randy set to punt. He has been punting about the same way as the Beeville punter. Low, tumbling punts. This is his best one, however, and it's handled back at the 30. Sweeney cutting back, and he is not going to go very far.
Sweeney.
Good special teams play, led by John Thompson.
Along with number 61.
So Beeville starts really their last drive where they'll have a lot of options. 6:45 to go here in the final period as Beeville will get set for a very important drive, and they're going to have to be throwing the football, and all options will be out the window then. So an important point of the football game right now.
RFA the last couple of years have been really noted for their defense, and this is the time that they have to come to life.
I formation. Mashashik has gone all the way at quarterback. Give goes to Koenig. Koenig, a good first down carry.
Graphic that we showed earlier showed Rome Free Academy only giving up 9 points all last season in the 4th quarter. And this is the part of the game that obviously is the biggest part here. It's 14-7. Rome Free Academy on top, and Baldwinsville with the ball, and they can drive the football. They're going to tie this ball game up.
They're at their own 43-yard line. Very tight I formation. Koenig barrels straight up the middle, close to first down yardage. Think they'll be just shy.
Short of the 46-yard line.
5:37 and counting here at RFA.
Rolling off of the pile, Dave Cardwell.
Oh my goodness, they spotted that ball way out close to the first down marker. I think they're going to have to measure now. That's a very good mark as we have an RFA player down and injured. And there's the sentiment there from the fans. Certainly they are excited about this football game, but we do have an RFA player down, and second time in the second half that has slowed things down. It's impossible to identify the player right at this point.
Look at the large crowd here at RFA Stadium.
The season opener for RFA as far as home games are concerned, after a game at the Carrier Dome and, of course, the game at CNS last week. And they're going to need some help for this player, I do believe, as well.
So they're going to bring the chains in also here, Danny, and take a little look at this ball and see how close it is to being a first down.
They have to run the chains around the injured football player. It's going to be short, but it'll be short by, let's see, short by about a half a yard. So that'll be the situation when we come back. Baldwinsville with a big third down situation. RFA leads it 14-7. At RFA Stadium, you see the score there. 5 minutes, 32 seconds to go, and RFA Football here on WTUV is brought to you by Trila's Insurance Center. Personalized and experienced service, 113 West Dominic Street in Rome. Sid Stockholm Ford, high quality of satisfaction service, Upper Black River Boulevard. Kosher Brothers Oil Company, also Upper Black River Boulevard. Jack's Cleaners, Black River Boulevard and West Dominic. Rome Country Club, Route 69 West in Rome. And the Video Works, 309 North James Street in Rome. Third down, about 2 feet for Baldwinsville. A big third down situation here, although at this point in the game they'd probably go on fourth. Mashasik will step back, then try to surge ahead, and he's got the first down and more.
Looks like a busted play. Mashasik looking to hand off to someone. Just tucked the ball underneath his arm. Went off tackle to the left, and he's got enough yards for the first down easily.
So that is good enough for a first down, and the clock will start back up. And I think there's another injured player down.
A little conference there now between the officials. The last time we had the injured player, that was Bob Griffin. And he went off under his own power for Rome Free Academy.
I don't know why we had the conference there, but it is a first down. Just about at midfield, about a yard shy. Some of the fans on very comfortable night. Some people are bundled up here and wait till later in the season. Some of the students watching tonight's football game as we're set for a first down and 10. The give goes left side, Koenig, a couple.
Healy right there from the right defensive end. Mike Healy coming down with a good hit on Koenig, the ball carrier.
3-yard gain on the play.
4:58. This drive very, very important now as time winds on. They're still 48 yards away from the tying touchdown are the Bees of Baldwinsville. Second down, 6 yards to go. Koenig has been the big ball carrier. This time the give goes to McDonald, cutting back. He's close to first down yardage.
Billy Mays there on the stop of Rome, but they're very close to the first down. McDonald showing some good second effort, balling forward. That's what you like to see out of the ball carrier, balling forward after he gets hit.
We'll be awarding our Player of the Game award and announcing it very shortly here. The Revere Award, a $100 scholarship brought to you by Revere Copper Products. Third down and 2. Give off the left side to the fullback, Earl, and he is not going to get there.
John Henneberg, perhaps the first player in there for Rome Free Academy. Also rolling off the bottom of the pile is Ciotti.
And Ciotti.
I'll tell you, Henderberg has played an outstanding football game on both sides of the ball, sparingly on offense, but he has a touchdown and has made a lot of plays on defense. They're going to get a measurement here, but I can't believe that they marked this ball up that far. That's a first down.
First down.
It didn't look like he had much forward progress, and I'm surprised, but it is a first down. The drive is alive with 3 minutes and 59 seconds to go. Still a ways to go as the ball is at the 30, well, make it the 41-yard line.
You look at the linebacker for Rome Free Academy over on the side getting worked on, Bob Griffin.
Griffin would like to be out there now. First down, offensive quarterback sneak by Mashasik, and that's good first down yardage.
To the 36. Tackled by
Fourth time that he's called his own number. Third time on the sneak. I think that sneak is an option for Mashasik when he gets up to the line of scrimmage.
It's not a bad play when you pick up 5 yards, that's for sure.
Clock is running with 3:23 to go. Second down, 5 yards to go. Inside the RFA 40. Big hit on the left side. Connick going nowhere.
John Chiotti coming through, shooting the gap, able to get into the backfield and make a good solid tackle on Koenig. That's a big play because it really sets up a passing situation for most teams, a long third down situation, and it's a problem for Baldwinsville. They haven't been able to make the big play with long yardage.
Koenig, if he'd gotten anything, sets you up with, say, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, and 2 downs to get that. Now it's a 3rd down and 7. McDonald has come on with the play. I'll tell you, McDonald is a dangerous player. They must like him a lot on defense because he looks good when he's had his hands on the football. And he's got it this time, breaking it inside. He's got the first down. He's got more. He's got a chance to go, cutting it all the way across. And he's at the 5. He is in for the touchdown.
Oh, you call it, Danny. Very dangerous player, Dana McDonald, able to turn that 37-yard run into a touchdown. And he did some great running in the open field there. He had a few options to take it to the outside or bring it back to the middle. And very deceiving runner. He doesn't look as quick as he was. Looked like he was running nice and easy, but he really turned down the jets there and got it into the end zone.
Great cutback from the left hash mark all the way across the field. Then he had some more RFA players to beat it about the 5, and McDonald, a fine-looking athlete, gets in for the touchdown as Beeville takes the timeout to decide what they are going to do with 2:24 to go, whether they're going to kick to try and tie this football game or try to go for the 2 points to try and win the game.
Kicking tee is out on the field, so we'll see if it's just a fake or if they're going to go ahead and try to kick.
So it appears that they are going to kick here. Last week, Huntley did all the kicking. He kicked all 4 extra points, but tonight the first extra point was kicked by number 60, Laporte, and he will be doing the honors once again. A very important kick here.
Soccer-style kicker. He's out there all ready to kick.
It looks like he was getting ready to warm up, but he's just standing there ready. The hold will be made by the backup quarterback, Hanatko. They have had some pretty poor snaps tonight. Very soft. This is high and soft. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and we're tied. 2 minutes, 24 seconds to go here at RFA Stadium as the 37-yard touchdown run by McDonald ties up this football game. We'll be back for the exciting conclusion right after this timeout. Across the 30-yard line, so about 68 yards between RFA and a touchdown, and a little less yardage if they were going to try to kick a game-winning field goal as the Beeville defense takes an immediate timeout.
RFA at their
Baldwinsville obviously wants to get things set, taking the timeout right away. RFA having some options here with 2:19 to go. They could go right into their 2-minute offense, or they could run the ball a couple times.
One thing we have seen, at least in the first half, that it's a good defensive secondary for the Baldwinsville Bees, and they indeed picked off a couple of the longer passes. You have time here, however, to use the shorter routes, although it has not been a big night as far as throwing the football for the Black Knights.
Head coach Tom Hoke right out in the middle of that offensive unit. Perhaps calling more than one play here. We'll see if they try to go into a hurry-up offense. 2 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the game. Obviously telling his runners if they can step out of bounds to go ahead and do so to stop the clock. RFA has not used a timeout here in the second half. So
we briefly got a look at Carl Sanfilippo, the Baldwinsville coach. Tom Hoke off the field now as from the 34-yard line, just inside the 34-yard line, RFA has 2:18 on first down. Thomas back to throw. Gunning it left side through the hands of Tremlett. No, that was Roberti that time as second dropped pass in a row on a passing down for RFA, and the clock stops with 2:13 to go.
Baldwinsville going with just 3 down linemen. Everybody dropping back in a prevent umbrella-type defense. It's going to be difficult to throw the ball deep now. RFA is going to have to use the short zone.
And they had one there. So the RFA receivers licking their fingers a little bit and making sure they hang on to the football here. 2nd down and 10 from the 34. Thomas setting, and he is dumped.
Thomas brought down by number 72.
Brian Corcoran, the man there for Baldwinsville, coming in to grab the ankles from behind on Thomas.
29-yard line.
3rd down, 15 that'll set up. Sorry, Doug.
That's okay, excuse me. This is going to be a difficult call now. You're going to leave some time back on the clock if you don't make it for Baldwinsville to go on the offense.
Yeah, that's what you have to worry about here. You certainly don't want to turn the football over. You're still in a tie game here, remember. 3rd down. Thomas back to throw, setting up the screen. And it is incomplete. Well, complete, but Nelson dumped immediately.
Jason McCard right there as the ball arrives to make the tackle. Winning team on the field, and we've seen a lot of strange things in the kicking game in high school football. This is a real big play now.
In just the last 2 games, 2 bad snaps by RFA and a play tonight where the snap was low and the punter went down on one knee to field it as Grandy gets set. The snap this time is a good one. They'll try to field it and run it back. McDonald running away from the football gets a great RFA bounce all the way back to the 40-yard line. 55 seconds to go in this football game. Well, last week, RFA dodged a bullet on the last-second field goal. They may have to do so again. RFA 14, Baldwinsville 14.
With 55.
Holding call, and it's going to take some serious heroics to keep this from being a kissing your sister type of game at 14.
Well, Baldwinsville obviously not known for their throwing of the football, so it's going to be tough for them to air the ball out and move down the field with just 32 seconds to go. You almost got to look for some kind of razzle-dazzle reverse type play if you want to do that with the ball on your 32-yard line.
Also, the fact that really, if they completed a ball way downfield, they would only just about have enough time to get the field goal team on. We saw 20 seconds last week wasn't enough.
But the clock is moving now, 22 and counting, and Baldwinsville still in the huddle here.
They're not going to be able to kick a field goal. This one would have to go the distance. No question about it. 13 seconds, 12, 10. This is going to be the last play of the football game, probably. They're throwing it deep down the left side, and it's out of bounds. There'll be one more shot with 5 seconds to go.
Intended for Peterson.
And certainly not the best time management by Baldwinsville on this drive, but they are the team that has come back to tie the football game at 14, so they might feel a little bit better.
They're obviously very happy. Baldwinsville obviously very happy here to go away with a tie. They had the opportunity after they scored to perhaps go for 2 points, elected to go ahead and kick the football. And obviously here, just letting the clock wind down. Last play of the game, I would think.
5 seconds to go. Mashasik, the quarterback. He'll try to run it, and he'll be dumped after a pickup of a couple, and that'll do it. That is the football game here from RFA Stadium. As RFA 14 and Baldwinsville 14, as Baldwinsville scores with 3+ minutes to go to tie up this football game. And we'll be right back for a final wrap-up right after this timeout.
Dozens of television screens.
Back here at RFA Stadium, you see the final score as RFA and Baldwinsville play a very competitive football game, and it ends up being a 14-all tie. The game was tied at 7 at the half. Marvin Nelson's 37-yard touchdown pass, a touchdown run rather, capped a 95-yard drive. Bennett with the kick, and it was 7-0. Later on in that second period, a 40-yard drive for Baldwinsville. After the Grobsmith interception and return, Laporte with the kick. It was Randy Earle's 13-yard touchdown run. The game was tied up at 7-7, and as soon as we recap the scoring, we'll be giving you our choice for the Revere Award $100 scholarship, the player of the game, brought to you by Revere Copper Products. We'll keep you in suspense for just a minute. We'll give you a little hint by saying that RFA was the first team to score in the third period as Henderberg went over from 1 yard out. Don Henderberg scoring after 24-yard drive, and that's probably the controversial play of the game, Doug, the fact that RFA gets set up at the 24-yard line after a very strange call, but they took advantage of the break, went in 14-7 to take the lead at that point.
Well, a strange player was again involved in the kicking game, and a punt by Baldwinsville being fielded in the air, well short of any receiver for RFA, but nonetheless fielded in the air by the Baldwinsville team, and they ruled that it was interference, not allowing the receiver a chance, an opportunity to field the punt, set Rome up in great field position.
They took advantage, and that was the lead until late in the ball game as Beeville took over at their own 35-yard line. They drove to the 37, and then they turned to a player who plays a lot of defense. Their leading interception man, Dana McDonald, he plays spotty on offense, just occasionally playing, and as I said just before he took off, the guy looks like a great athlete. He's a junior, a 3-year starter, has started since his freshman year on defense, an outstanding 37-yard run. Marvin Nelson with a 37-yard run early in the game. That tied up the football game. Our Revere Award $100 scholarship winner, I guess we agree on Don Henderberg, who played very, very well on defense and scored a touchdown as well, carrying the ball only twice all night, but from the 5 he got down to the 1, and then he scored.
Well, I think Henderberg, Henderberg, obviously a key player in the defensive unit, might be known as a monster man in the olden days. They call him the night back here, and very active all over the football field.
So that'll do it here from RFA. As you see, our technical crew did such a fine job for you tonight. Remember, we'll have football again next week as RFA will take on West Genesee. Same time, same station. Very exciting football game here tonight. And the final score for the final time, the RFA Black Knights 14 and the Baldwinsville Bees 14. This has been a production of WUTV Sports. Good night, everybody.